Today is November 3rd, which means it's the first day of Blizzcon, so let's go over some of this Blizzcon news. Today was the opening ceremony stream for Blizzcon, so they kind of do all the welcome ceremony. Mike Ybarra, the president of Blizzard, he comes out there and he kind of talks about how much he loves the fans, how much the company loves the fans, all that kind of stuff. With that, pretty much every one of Blizzard's big games gets a little bit of a news update. A lot of things got announced today for WoW, for Diablo, for Overwatch, for Hearthstone, for this new mobile game that they have coming. So they have a bunch of news that kind of came with this opening ceremony. First, we kick it off with Overwatch 2. The first thing they dropped, the newest hero, the new tank Malga. He's got miniguns as his main attacks. One applies a fire damage and then the other one does crits while burning. So it's this really cool combination of applying fire to enemies and then critting fire, and then you kind of heal from your critting, and then you have an unstoppable charge. It's kind of like Reinhardt's pin, but you can't be stopped. You charge in, and then when you hit the button, you jump and you crash down and you hit people and you do damage, and it looks so cool that I just love Reinhardt's pin. It's one of my favorite characters in the game, and his pin is my favorite ability of his, and it's just like a combination of that with a little bit of a jump and damage ability to it. His ult looks incredibly crazy. You put this little thing down, you build a shield around you, and any enemies inside get locked in there. You get infinite ammo, and then you're in there for 8 seconds, you're locked in, and then the only way that enemies can get in, they have to go through the shield. They can break the shield, but you're trapped in there if you're inside. Malga will be available on December 5th with the new season 8 that'll be coming in a few weeks, but they announced today that you will be able to play him all this weekend and basically get to test him out. Basically, it'll be any match you play today, it'll be Malga versus Malga, and just spend the weekend and get to test him out. In terms of other Overwatch news, Aaron Keller was also out there. He was talking about the next mode called Clash, and it'll basically be this tug of war frontline kind of mode where both teams start on each side and you're kind of fighting back and forth over these different points throughout the map. And the big part about the new map that comes with this mode is that it's basically going to be a reworked kind of different version of Hanamura called Hanamako, and it'll be kind of similar. It's based off the old 2CP map from Overwatch 1 that no longer is in the game, and it definitely has that same cherry blossom look to it, but it'll be kind of reformed for this new 5-point tug of war type of map. And then the last thing, and this is the biggest deal, is next year we'll be getting 3 new heroes over the course of the year, according to what they said today. And they showed a picture, they kind of highlighted both of them. We got Venture and we got Space Ranger, and these look freaking sick. Venture, I think, is going to be one of my favorites out of the 3. I don't know what the third one's gonna look like, but Venture looks sick to me, and then Space Ranger looks dope. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed seeing what they said today about Overwatch. There's a lot of good news. I really like this new tank, his new design, his voice, is just everything about him, his personality. I just love it. It fits right in with the tank kind of persona, and I love that. Moving on to the next piece of news, Diablo 4 was up next, and they announced their new expansion. It'll be the first expansion for D4. It's coming late 2024, and with it, it's going to bring a new class that's new to the series, which means that none of the classes that aren't in the game currently that have been in past games will be a new class to the series. That will be called Vessel of Hatred. It's coming late 2024, and that's basically, they talked about a lot of quality of life things with season 2 and the upcoming seasons to D4 and what's going forward from there. But the big part is the new expansion that'll be late next year. They spent a little bit of time on Hearthstone. One of the biggest parts of it was the catch-up packs. It's kind of a way to bring players that haven't really been keeping up with the meta and haven't really played in the last 2 years. It'll be these big packs of cards that players will be able to get, and you basically will be able to catch up to try and be in coordinates with the meta and that kind of thing, because I think they're having a lot of problems with, especially people leaving and then coming back and not having meta cards, and there's not a really good system to catch up to that meta. And I think this will be a really good addition to try and bring those new players in and bring players that haven't been playing back. They quickly touched on Warcraft Rumble. It is the new Clash Royale style Warcraft game that's coming to mobile. It launched today. You can play it today. You download on your iOS and Android devices. The first piece of news they hit on for WoW was WoW Classic, and basically they announced that Cataclysm will be coming to the game now, and it is another past expansion moving into the game, and there'll be a few new changes is what it sounded like, but basically, overall the WoW Classic experience with Cataclysm coming into the game. And lastly, to finish off the BlizzCon news, they talked about World of Warcraft and basically the next expansion plus the next 2 expansions they give a hint at. But with the new World Soul Saga that's coming, it'll be a story. They called it a story that expands over several expansions, starting with the War Within, which will be coming soon, and then Midnight and the Last Titan as the next 2 expansions going forward. And the story is going to kind of travel across those 3 expansions over this whole saga. And I think a lot of World of Warcraft players, especially in the audience, were excited about this news and just all the things coming to World of Warcraft. I don't play it myself, so I don't know a whole lot, but that's coming to the game soon. So that basically wraps up everything that they talked about today in the opening ceremony for BlizzCon. There's stuff going on all weekend, so there might be a whole lot more information coming from each of these 4 main properties and all the other things they talked about today. But we'll just have to see what comes out over the rest of the weekend while we watch all these different panels and everything that's coming out of Blizzard. And personally, the Overwatch news is the most exciting to me. That's what I play the most. And I'll definitely be trying out this new tank, Mauga, this weekend. And we'll just have to see what else is coming out.